Okay, I'm going to go with another CC contest playthrough. And this one is Windstone by Grovey, who, it's his first contest, but certainly not an unfamiliar designer, has done some really cool stuff in the past. West Forest is probably my favourite, but the Kingdom's great. There's a couple of others that are well worth playing. So I'm really looking forward to playing this one. This is round 2 of judging, so yeah, clearly there's a lot of things that have gone well because made it through the first round. And I'm going to do these for playthroughs just for the first 2 rounds, because that way I figure we've got a good amount of feedback coverage for everyone, and there's a chance that people get a video out of them. So the only thing we've changed has been the terrain has gone to firm as per request, and we've got 3 sets of tees. I'm pretty certain the back tees, and let's just check the thread, are contest tees. There's nothing about it, so I'm assuming all good. Yeah, I mean, I tried to follow pretty much everyone's work in progress threads just so I have an idea of what everyone's trying to accomplish. And this was one of the ones I really liked the look of, so I'm interested to see how it plays. So as per usual, all of these comments I'm going to try to I tend to say quite a lot on the first few holes, and it's all just my opinion. There'll be some things you agree with, some things you disagree with. Straight off the bat, I love the width and the look off the tee. And the green complex is already interesting me. So, okay, we're going to try and play it on some decent graphics settings, and we'll see how we go. Yeah, we're already up there. Cool. So, yeah, land movement's great, introducing a lot of the elements straight off the bat. So we've got this forest, we've got wasty areas which are really nicely planted. Fairway going over some pretty undulating land. Large cut of what looks like, I'm assuming this is light rough. And then yeah, because we've got the heather. The texture choices are great. Adds a real variance. There will be some people who don't like this, and the fact that the texture is going in at right angles. You see that in real life. I'm completely fine with it, and the same with these wavy bits, because I don't think that's a technical error for me. Anyway, maybe other people will have a different opinion on it. For me, you'd see fairway edges like that. Could they be a bit smoother? Yeah, probably. We could have splined in here, but because actually I think that's the bunker texture pushing the fairway out a bit. But I'm okay with it. Planting wise, I think my one nitpick is I'm all for minimalism in terms of choice of trees. I'd have probably liked to see another couple of tree types mixed in there. If you're in Highlands, you've got the spruces, the firs. I think we've just gone pure cedars. It looks fine. I think it would really help break up the look visually a little. But I get that you would tend to see one predominant species. Okay, so this pin, where do we want to be coming in from? Well, I think you're giving me more space coming off the left. Now, it's not a long hole. What I like is that with this is I'm able to choose where I want to put it off the tee. If I want to take this bunker on or not, or if we want to play out here, or if we just want to play dead down the middle. You know what, for this pin I don't really think there's that much for benefit, so I'm just going to go dead down the middle. And I'm a big fan of a generous opening tee shot in a contest such as this, but I'm certain that on this screen there are other pins that require far more specific positions. The undulations on the fairway are looking really nice, very subtle. Nothing crazy, but the big land movements are pretty are noticeable. So because we're going up 9 feet here, but the little humps and bumps are quite small, which works. And I've got a couple of ways I can play this. I can either, so I think here bringing it in from the left would have been a better play, unless you go long, in which case you're feeding off. It's just a really well thought out pin. But more than that, it's also very CC appropriate. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this opening tee shot. That's a dreadful second. Please hold. It's not going to hold. Yeah, I think we've got some waviness we could have probably cleaned up here. I don't know. I just feel like if we are going realistic, that would almost certainly be more of a straight line or a smoother curve. But nitpicky. Up a touch. Yeah, this is one of those. And with all of these courses, I'm going to play them a couple of times before submitting a final score. I feel like I'm going to need multiple goes at this to understand the pin positions a little bit better. Now I like that you follow up a really gentle uphill hole with a tougher downhill hole. Not sure I love this green in shadow. And I get that's probably a bit more of... Ooh, lovely little hogs back here. I think what you're doing with ground game is great. I mean, I don't love it in shadow, but I don't hate it either. I think the green sight itself is brilliant. Looking back up, you can really see it. So, no, I think I take that back. Bunkering off the side, yeah, really steep. It's a good hazard if you cut down the left too much. Perhaps a touch too steep here, but I guess it kind of depends on what you're going for. I think we've got a few missed bits of bunker brush here. You can see where the sand's going a slightly different colour. And I suspect we need to run a circle brush over it, and it will just pop down a little bit more. Right. I love Adam's green complexes because they are so much subtler than mine, and yet and there's a lot of similarities, but he does a load of really good stuff with just tiny little yellow slopes. So I think with this one, I actually don't want to be left, or I'm taking on this spine and this bit here. So am I okay to bail out? Yeah, but if I bail out over here, we're bringing that bunker into play. We've got that shoulder which is going to kick us way left. No, I think I do need to be left. Okay, no, I do need to be left. The subtlety of angles here is great. Really good look off the first tee. I didn't go and inspect the clubhouse. Maybe should have done. I'm hoping that that will camber round. Yeah, side hill lies a good little punishment of you've played it a little bit safe. Try and hit a little bit of fade and hopefully counteract the slope. That might need to go a touch. No, that I will take. I really like that green. It's oh, we only just got it up to that a little bit, but it's really befitting the length of the hole. I've got no doubt you've got a pin up here, which probably wants you to go more right off the tee. I can tell you've taken a lot of time over the green complexes. Oh, I was sure that was going to drop. Okay, looking back down. I do think this planting could be sunken in a little bit more. I also think you'll have a bit more joy if you're varying the sizes of the bushes and rotations a touch more. Actually, you can make them a lot bigger than you think you need to, and that will help you with... It actually looks better. But nitpick, again. I just don't love the way the bushes raise up on stalks. The way you've done it here is brilliant. This is a great look. A short par 4 with a world of space short and left. I'm a big fan of this. And that green complex again is giving me all sorts of happy feelings. So we're obviously not going to try to drive it. That's not going to work, because we'll end up in this bunker and we've just got a slippery shot. But you could, and I think for a different pin further on I might try it. Let's have a little look around. This isn't even me looking for things to judge, this is just me enjoying this shot. And what I'm so fond of about this hole is there aren't really very many hazards that you'd consider hazards. You've got a big dune here, tiny little bunker here which actually isn't coming into play. This is all about where you've cut the pin, where you've cut the fairway, and where you've put slopes. So we could play way back and have a bit of a flick wedge in. Or we can bomb it down here and have a bit of a pitch across, which I don't love. Or we could hit driver down here and hopefully have a flop in. But then that bunker's potentially in play. What's the other side of this pin? Feeding off gently. You know what? I'm going to lay up. I'm going to go for a relatively conservative layup at that. Because I think I want to hit a full wedge. I love that I'm blind as well. I mean, it's a shame we have the scout cam, but this would be great if not. And the reason I've gone for a layup here is because I feel I can err a little bit laterally and I can go long and there's no real issue. Can't be a big miss, but a little one should be good. Yeah. That hole is a lot of fun. I could see people playing that so many different ways. Oh, that's a dreadful part. Please hold. Thank you. I think that's the best short 4 I've seen in the contest. And it's just really, really subtle. I think this course might... surprise people might be the wrong word, but I think people could easily dismiss this one as looking too simple. Okay, heading back up into the trees now. Alrighty, par 5. I do wonder whether, and I know this has been a critique on some of your previous ones from me, I wonder whether we're being a touch generous off the tee. I think on this hole, on a par 5, I get that the main defence is going to be angles, but I think this one feels like it needs a central hazard or something. Yeah, tempo is starting to go with the frame rate, but that's alright. So we should be a bit further up. I mean, also this course, extremely playable for pro clubs. Lovely little slopes that aren't really going to add so much interest with how you play approach shots. Like, you'd factor them in, but that's not what they're there for. They're there to make your putting really interesting. If I go long, Question is, do we want to be long or short or left or right? I think short is potentially better than long, but kind of in between clubs. Let's try this. I wasn't anticipating a slow. Thought if anything I'd get a fast. That might need to sit a touch. Yeah. Fast, and I think that's golden because you roll off the other side of the mound. Still, it's not dreadful. Has a fun little chip on. Look back at the hole. Yeah, I think the tee shot needed something. I don't know, either a diagonal bunker cutting in here or a central hazard. Where are we? Yeah, central hazard or something. This one's a bit too... The approach shot's great. The tee shot was... Unlike the hogs back on 2, where I felt we really had to ride it. 2's back over this way, isn't it? I don't think there was as much... And plus 2 was a par 4, so you can get away with having the tee shot a little less interesting there. Or a little less challenging. It's not a good chip. I think the approach shot was golden. Still, yeah, and I don't think I've played one necessarily great shot there, or even good shot, I would argue. The drive wasn't great, the approach wasn't great, the chip was too far, and the putt was, fine. I think that's a bit of maybe a bit too much of an auto birdie hole for me. But I get that it's come on the back of that long par 4 second, so, and it's the first, yeah. I love the dune look you've got. Absolutely nailed this vibe. And the textures really help it. Okay, pin 1 all the way at the back. Oh, I think I'm just seeing it in the game chugging a touch, so we're going to drop down. That little mound there to break it up is genius as well. Works really nicely. Okay, so run off left. I think stock 7 should be good. Love the tree line tapering down here. Love the view of the ocean. This is just a great looking par 3. And it's all the better because you haven't used lighting as a crutch at all. It's just all natural environment and oh so believable. Yeah, really wanted, probably a fast would have been better, but that's okay. I do like that you can bail slightly off the tee, and provided you miss in the right places, you're generally okay. More it's realistic, really is. That's low, always low. Yeah, I don't really have too many nitpicks with this. I'm looking forward to playing it on another pin and seeing how things change, because I think for me that'll be a real acid test of this hole, of this course. Oh, another long par 4. Okay, now I'm starting to see the 4th hole as an auto birdie a bit more. Looks like we've got a little bit of punch bowling in. A lot of punch bowling on this green. That's good. Good choice for a long 4. Okay, so here I think I want to go right and just open up that backstop a touch more. Another slow backswing. Tempo's all over the place. So here I understand the generous off the tee, generous on the green far more than I did on the par 5. I still maintain the par 5 needed a little bit more teeth. That needs some luck. Get a kick. And that's why I love punch bowl greens, because you can get that little bit of fortune. Lovely green site, really, again, just completely believable. Friendly sloping, like there's a number of ways to get it close to this pin. Obviously I wasn't trying to do that, I was trying to hit it into the backstop a bit more. Tricky-ish putt. I think that's another hole where your approach really kind of has to use the ground game, and I think you've accomplished that really by just using distance, which I'm all for. Right, in this game, I don't think a 500-yard par 4 is particularly long or plays particularly long. Love this green site. I just keep saying the same things, but I think I like the beach being here. I'd have liked the planting to extend down into it a bit more randomly, perhaps at points. Like, can we have a few bushes down here or something? I think that would break it up a little more. Again, I suspect the reason for this is multi-planting. Oh no, I don't think you have. Not all of them. Some of them I think you have. I don't know. Again, I think you'll accomplish a better look with fewer bushes and make them bigger. This is nice. Little two-tiered fairway. And I really, really like the way that this little mound is here. Just a very creative hazard. So if we go all the way out this way... You know what, I feel like I want to play left on this. Or if we play right, we're bringing this dune into play a touch more. Play left, we open that up. I think I'm going to go left. I look forward to you telling me that that was the wrong decision, but it feels like the play. Dreadful swing line. So I'm hoping this opens up that pin tiny bit. But I'm a huge fan of a dogleg where the best play, even for one pin, is to the outside of the dogleg. We don't get enough of those. Right in between clubs again. I can only imagine how good this pin looks from the other side, where it's silhouetted against the skyline rather than against the trees. If only Ben didn't take the wrong angle. It's just leapt right. Wasn't a good swing, but let's see if we can get a bit of luck. This could be interesting. Where's the lob wedge chip go? I mean, it's almost gotten to the point where I'm not really judging this. I'm just loving this course. Obviously I am, and I'll point out the few things that I see, but there really is not much. It's fun. You can use the slopes a little bit. The dunes are so nicely understated, and I love the fact that they are the setting for this hole rather than becoming the hole. We see too many links where it's crazy dunes that are in the middle of holes or housing bunkers or what have you. I really appreciate how you've done it. And where you've done it, it's often the other side of the dune is kind of the hazard to stop you bouncing down if you've chosen a wrong angle. Well, this is just gorgeous. Brilliant green site. Fun diagonal tier. really subtle one. I love the horizon fairway. Now, with that in mind, I see why you don't have any hazards down here. I do think this kind of brings back the fact that we haven't had a lot of fairway hazards. I think that one's just a tee shot for fun. I'm sure the side of the fairway matters a little bit. I don't think it did to this pin. Maybe. And I guess here it's kind of your choice. If I'm going more from the right, I can use this more as a backstop. If I'm going more left, I'm avoiding that little runoff a touch. Middle, kind of bit of both worlds, which I'm a big fan of. Oh, didn't want to put any fade on that. So I think I'm going to try to hit just into this area. If we hit a slow, we're going slightly long and we're ending up here. If we hit a fast, that's potentially the danger, isn't it? But I think with a fast and this elevation, probably not an issue. Lo and behold, we get a fast, and pray that my maths is about right. Great look back down the holes as well. Oh, sure, that was in. I do like the way you've meshed duneland, woodland, and kind of coastal a bit as well. I'm sure the routing is nice and intricate and all sorts of little twists and turns. A little depression short right's great. Fun. Look at that for a pin. That's brilliant. And this pin position's wild. The green contours in front of it are great. Again, I feel like it would be a little better if we could see a bit more of it. If you'd pruned a couple of these trees, I don't think you'd lose anything. You'd still feel the tree line. But if you'd pruned a couple of the trees so that we can just see the contours a bit more, because I'm having to really go looking for them. Whereas I think it's kind of an aesthetic thing more than anything else. Okay, where do we want to be? I think dead down if we can be. So I'm assuming this canvas right a touch. Definitely a shelf here. It's certainly a course I would love to play on CC. I mean, it fits my game beautifully. Loads of fairway to hit. Interesting greens that you can bank balls off the slopes on. I think that's okay. Should kick in a touch. I really like the way it opens out towards future holes as well on the back line. Just looking at this tree line, I do come back to I'd like them more if they were slightly different heights, slightly different species. I think you'd feel a bit more natural with that. In a way that your dunes have felt so natural, the trees haven't quite done it for me as much. And I fully suspect you're going to be right there with this at the end of the contest, so I think it's going to come down to little nitpicks. And if so, that would be one of mine. I love the way that after the two woodland holes, this is just open and in the middle. I wonder how many greens we can see from here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Can we see one up there? 4 definitely. T there. And this is brilliant. This is all the stuff I like. And you can see up to these 2 holes. That's 1 and 2, I think, isn't it? Yeah, really nice. Um, hmm, I also think I really like that you know about this bunker lip and fairway texture stuff, and you don't care. It's about how it plays. I'm also probably reversing my earlier critique. I don't think this whole course would fit so well if it was all uniform rough and fairway. I would really love. I I wonder whether you could have splined some of the inside edges to have fairway run right the way up to the edge, or greens run right to the edge. It's a pain. I wish you could do tighter shapes with splines, or I'm sure you would do. Hopefully next game fixes that. I think looks like it might. I also love that I think you've got 3 different bunkers that are going to come into play on 3 completely different pins. So for this shot, I'm not worried about this one, I'm not worried about this one, but this one's 4 front. For a pin over here, only this one's going to bother me. Pin at the front, only this one. And then kind of pick and choose for your 4th. If I were you, I'd probably have my 4th here, but then I'm a bit mean. Alright, let's hit a shot. Just a great look as it goes through the air. I think all your par 3s so far have been knockouts. Oh, you've only had... Yeah, I was going to say, I remember the other one being brilliant. And another short par 4. Awesome. Bunkerless short par 4. Oh no, there is one, just can't quite see it. Big green. Big green in a short 4 is fun. Because you can put people in positions where if they're mad and they just hit at it, you can leave them tricky 2 putts. Lovely little false front slash rolling back into the green. Okay, so the last par 4 we played sensibly. A short par 4 we played sensibly and we came up with a birdie, I think. This one I might go more cavalier at. If the pin were on the front, I'd definitely be going for it. I'm assuming you've got one up on the shelf, you've got one in and around here, and you've probably got one front. If I miss right, then I've got a pitch back towards there. Yeah, I don't want to miss short right. If I miss short left... Short left I don't think is too bad. Apart from the stance could be a pain. You know what, I think we're going to go for it. And we've missed short right. Damn it. Well, I enjoy these kinds of shots. Short game shots where you can get a bit more creative is all like, right what I want. Ah. Might take a practice swing. 90 won't go far enough. You know what, let's just try and get perfect. I think you have to pause a little longer than I normally do. Or a slow fast. Well, we're going down that slope. I always tend to get fasts with pitches, so that was an annoying in-between shot for me. Definitely didn't want to go long. settle. Yeah, we put ourselves in bad positions here. Because even a par will feel like a drop shot. If I parred this in CCI, I'd be raging. Oh, at least we avoided a bogey. Fun hole, and didn't need much. I mean, I think my critique would be, is that one where it's either basically you kind of always do, because there aren't very many hazards around the green. I feel like there was a bit more of an incentive needed to lay up, or some sort of... I don't know. I almost feel with that one there was too much width, so people are given too much choice and they're all ultimately almost certainly going to go for it. Now we've got centerline bunkers coming in here, which I really like, and I kind of wish we'd used them earlier. We're uphill. Actually, no, we're not. Downhill a touch, but we're not going to run out of fairway. Although might do into that bunker there. Does it camber that way? Not a huge amount. I want to stay as left as I can with this one. I can see... No, it's a dreadful tee shot. I can see downwind that really causing issues. I didn't realise it would be this uphill. Really fun little green. Just banked in. Okay. 8 is... Which one was 8? Oh, 8 was the disjointed one. I like that these two are right next to each other. Maybe just a standard. A touch of loft. I think the other thing with this one, I'm playing it in pretty much 0 winds. If you bumped up the winds, this would get a lot more interesting. Oh, horrible, horrible position to have left myself in. Not a bad effort, but a bit overcautious. Now that's 2 holes you'd have wanted to birdie. I mean, in terms of difficulty, I think you have nailed it. I think there's a few tee shots that could use a touch more, I guess, really forcing people to make decisions rather than just being so open. But beyond that, the difficulty is more subtle than on other courses. But I appreciate that far more. Great sightlines between... the gap between the trees here and here is perfect. Okay, a little bit of a tear. Pretty much just a tear, isn't it? Down 53. So this is one where you're trying to work out elevation a little bit more as to whether you can just get over this. I wonder whether this would have been better served mounded up just a touch. I think it would make people think a little more. If we'd had a dune here, I don't know, I like it how it is. Because you're always clearing it, so I don't think it massively matters. I wonder whether the left side is flatter than this. No, not significantly. Okay, so the question on this hole is basically, can you deal with a slightly awkward lie from the fairway? Hopefully we can. Nice. And in that regard, I don't think this needed another hazard. I think where you put them is perfect. Oh, that's hit through the break. No? Oh no. We got that one right. So I'm hoping we're now playing the hole just to the left of where that one was. Yeah. so through the gap in the trees. I love when you see a course just going... Reeb will talk about the open to closed stuff, going from hemmed in environments to wide open spaces. I think this nails it. But just the amount of open space and different holes we can see without it looking empty. Love it. Okay, so playing quite long today. Again, I feel like I can go down the middle with relative impunity, and we're probably hitting that slope and getting a load more run. Do we get a flatter lie from here? Maybe. I'm interested to see how... well, I guess I really want to be pushed more this side and take the bunker on, but I think I'm looking for reasons to do that. I don't think if I hit down the middle it's going to be too bad. Maybe we'll see. That's going to find... well, we're just going to hit down the right by accident. But yeah, I'd be interested to know, because I do feel that's another one where I'd want that bunker on the right to be a bit more in play. I think I've got the angle that we would have wanted. And we're going to hit that little runoff on the left. Do wish the game would run that down further. Like, this should be going down to the bottom, but it's just stopped on... oh, that wasn't good. Still. Okay, I like the relatively straightforward par 5 being followed by long and varied par 3. Big ground contours. Oh yeah, I like this. Long par 3s are all about facilitating ground game, because you can't... you've got to make it interesting. I don't think this one is quite up there with the previous two, but I reckon it might be one where a few more plays, and I do think it is. But the previous two were just so good. Now, that needs to kick in left a touch, and now slow. I think that's a tough pin to get at. I don't think I have the club for that one. I'm either ending up short or... yeah, or I have to loft it a lot more. Awesome backdrop here. Well, I have to say, I haven't been giving your planting enough credit, just because I'm so engrossed in the round. Which is probably how you want it, but nothing really looks out of place. Tree line I've touched on, but it's great. I'll take a 3 in a heartbeat there. I love the bunkering up by the green, and just that sort of staggered diagonal look here. Okay, I can see why this one might play tough. Oof. Okay, so approach-wise we're going to want to bail out right the touch. Or we can come in at this sort of angle and just run it all the way up. This hazard coming in is great. I'm not sure, again I think you've missed a few patches in the sand. That's why we're getting that little bumpy look that I don't think you wanted. Big fan of the little spine to direct me a bit further left if that's what I want, or push me a bit further right if that's what I want. I think I want to come at it from the right. Do I? No, I want to go left because I want to take that red slope behind the pin out of play, and I've gone right. Oh no, worse, we're on this. Oh. That's right where I really didn't want to be. Not really sure how this is going to react. Let's go up on a 5. Let's put it here. If it goes straight, then we're fine. If it yeah, we're going to hit that runoff, I think, aren't we? Or not even get there. No, we hit the same sort of runoff, just not as hard. Tough shot, that one. Go, 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 go. Oh. I think that is meant to be a tough hole. So that's okay. It's a good place for it as well. Okay, par 3, then par 5. Stereotypical TGC closing 17 and 18 pars. Good little short par 3. I would love you to have sunk these tees down a bit more so I can see all of the good work you've done here and just see that green floating in. I want that to be my view off the tee, because this is a knockout, a potential knockout, but the tees being so high kind of robs me of a lot of that. Lovely little mound here. And we found the wrong side of it. Tap it over the little spine. Oh, got the pace right. I love that you can see those tees that we've passed. It kind of makes you, that little view there of those tees makes me a bit sad that the round is coming to an end, which is right, exactly what you want, because you're looking back and I remember that hole. I know which one we've played. That's the one up. I think is that 8 up to the elevated green. I had a guess, but I reckon what I think I like most about this whole course is the fact that I reckon I could look at the scorecard and tell you what most of the holes were, which for me is a sign of a really good course. Clubhouse is interesting. Concession tents, not seen those used before. Oh my goodness, this is a giant green. Maybe doubles as a putting green? Or have you actually got a pin? No, this must double as a putting green. Oh yeah, I can see the little putting flags. Yeah, that's a good decision. Diagonal bunker I'm all for. Little mini punch bowl to finish is great. Sort of semi-blind tee shot is awesome. And we get a very fast. I think that might be my first fairway I've missed. Annoying. Oh well. It's still got a chance. We can kind of hack up there. Now it's going to need to go just a touch. Or bounce the bunker. No. Yeah, really good closing hole. And very... I think what's good about closers is they should fit the way the course has been as well. This one really does. A lot of width. Ideal line nowhere near your easiest line off the tee. Oh, we might actually bogey it. Oh no, it's par 5. Okay. I feel like this should be a par 4. Because I've hit 3 really, really poor shots, and I've still got a birdie putt. And I'd be all good with this being a par 4. Maybe for different pins, I guess. Yeah, I was going to say, in no way did I deserve a birdie there. Still, that's a hell of a fun course. I'm just going to go back and try to think, can I remember all of the holes? So that's the wide open par 4 to kind of like a pitch into the green. Going up, 2 came back down alongside it, was the sort of hogsbacky long par 4. 3 was that gorgeous short par 4 I deliberated for ages on. 4's the one with the coming out towards... is that going out towards the coast, or is that one going out towards the coast? Oh, I might have got muddled a bit here. No, we don't go towards the coast. That's this one and this one. So those 6 and 7 were that's the dune cutting in on the right by the green. That's the short par 4 I loved. That's that path. So that takes you out towards the coastline. That was that great par 3. Oh, I'm blanking on the first par 5. Oh no, it's the... Yeah, I remember it. I can't articulate what I remember about it, but I think 3 and 4 I'm struggling a bit more. 8 was disconnected green. 9 was that... I don't remember 9 so much. 10 was the other stunning 3, opened up the rest of the course. Yeah, I mean, loads of memorable holes. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm looking forward to a future play already. Okay, I mean, you know all the stuff I love. The greens were outstanding. Just, I think possibly, I think between this and Ranfurly are probably the 2 best green sets in the contest. But right up there, they're very different. I thought the way you worked through your various environments without having it be like, here's your 6 holes on the dunes, here's your 6 holes in the woodlands, here's the 6 on the coast. I think that was great. I would have liked to have felt like we came a bit more at the coast at the end. Could we have opened 16 and 17 up to the coast just a touch more? But I think part of that is probably that sight line on 17 losing me a touch. But the environment was awesome. The course was also totally believable. There are some things that you've cut corners on technically that other judges may ding you on. Personally, I'm not going to be one of those, because I think it was a conscious decision, and I think I know what you were trying to accomplish in doing that. And I think the really smooth, ultra smooth fairways that and those sort of crisp edges that people love to see, I don't think that's a technical error. I think that's a choice, and I get why you've made that choice. My major nitpick, it's not really a nitpick. I think it was. I feel like this course would need wins to really stand up, and kind of be at the same level of challenge as some of the other courses. I'm just going to check as to whether you've put anything on your thread about that. Oh, it was designed to play with high winds, in which case I take it all of those. Well, not all of those. I wish I'd seen that before I started. Sorry. So I think what we've seen is a really benign round. So now a couple more of the holes make a lot of sense, I think. In which case, ignore most of the comments about the fairways being too wide and unchallenging, and the par 5s being a touch too benign. I completely get it. Okay, anything else I might point out? 1 par 3 on the front 9, 3 on the back is fun. I mean, the par 3 was at 10, so it's much of a muchness. I feel if I've got one one sort of nitpicky critique on difficulty, I guess, it would be that I think your most difficult par 4s were mainly length based. So we got 500, 496, there was another 500 one here. I think with how you designed this to play with the winds and the width and openness, I wish I'd played it with the high winds, but I would have liked to have seen a few more holes where it was really tough but not being a long hole. I think 16 was probably the one for me that was the toughest on the course, and that was a mixture of length and just a really difficult pin position. I don't think 15 was tough to make 3 on. I think all of your other long 4s you've compensated really nicely. I would have liked one kind of hole that's a grind. I also love, I've just noticed that your front nine is over 4,000 yards, which and this is a really interesting one because I've seen, I think this is now the 4th course I've done, probably, where there's been a 9 of over 4,000 yards. The reason this one works and other ones didn't is because all of your par 4s that were long were generous. You've got 2 par 5s on there that, no, not crazy long, and just the 1 par 3, so it's about how you've accomplished that. Because that did not feel anywhere near that length, and you'll notice I scored way better on the front than I did on the back. So, a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I need to play that on another pin set, and definitely with high winds. I'm kicking myself a little bit on that. So what I'll do is I'll probably pop, when I put my score in, I'll pop a note on there, as well as to how high winds might have changed it, so I won't do another video. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I think this one will do really well, and I think it could be a sneaky one that people don't necessarily see coming as much. They should. It's great, and there's a lot for people to learn from this, myself included. So yeah, best of luck, and really enjoyed that.